This video is going to show you how to add visits within a client schedule. So once you're inside the schedule from the client profile, you have the option to add one-time visits, regular, or multiple. And this video is going to walk you through each of those options. The first option we'll show is how to create a one-time visit. So if you go to the calendar date that you want to add the visit on, click on the one-time option. And this is going to create a visit that is just that. It's one time, it does not regenerate, there is no further reoccurrences. It is a one-time visit. When you click on one time, you get the client visit window that appears. You have an order section that determines what services the client has. In this case, there is only PSW services listed here within their profile, so that's the only option that we have and therefore what it defaults to. If a client was receiving multiple services, they had nursing, home support, therapy, those options would be listed here to choose from. You can see our pattern type is indicated as one time, and then our bill code is set to be the default for the order. So it's a really good opportunity just to make sure that all of those things match what we're intending to schedule for. Then we have the option to put in a start and stop time. If we happen to know when the visit is going to take place, we can enter it. If I put in my start and press tab, put in my stop time, it automatically calculates what the duration is for that visit. You want to make sure that your duration, so the visit time, the billing duration, and the pay duration are all reflective of what they should be. If in fact you don't know what time, or if it's not time specific rather, we can take those times out of there. It will default to 12 a.m., which field staff have been trained on their device when they see that it could be, it's not time specific. Then you have an option to choose a shift code. So we can choose an AM, evening, night, PM visits. Typically these are going to be our nursing options, and they can determine when the visit occurs. Otherwise, we're going to be using our start and stop time. I'm going to have this visit be from 10 until 10:30. If my date was different, it's going to be whichever date you have selected on the calendar, but you do have the option to change it once you're within the client visit window. Okay, we want to make sure that we're choosing our priority code. If you click on the drop down, you'll have options there that you can choose whatever applies to that visit. If nothing, it can be left blank. If there are any comments that need to be entered, this is information that displays on the field staff's phone. They can be entered here. Typically it's things that apply just to that particular visit that you're creating. Most things within Procura have a home, so this is just anything additional that does not have a specific spot in Procura. Once all of our visit information is captured, we click on OK. Yes, we want to save the changes, and we get our conflict checking window. So the conflict checking window is going to show us any issues, conflicts that are present with that visit. Our conflict status tells us that there is no conflict. So the action is that it's going to book the visit, but send it to the planner because there is no field staff attached. So we click on OK, and we can see that the visit is entered from 10 until 10:30 on Thursday the 5th. You'll also notice within the scheduling window that you have a legend at the bottom that shows the color coding that applies to the visits. So this is a one-time visit, but currently because it is assigned to the planner, because it does not have a field staff attached, it is red, and that color then would trump the one-time coloring. Once we fill this visit with a staff, it will become blue, indicating that it is a one-time visit. If I single click on this visit though, I have all of my information here on the right hand side that can tell me the details of it without double clicking and opening it up again. The next type of visit that I'm going to show you to add in is a regular pattern visit. If I click on the regular icon from the ribbon at the top of the schedule, my client visit form displays. Same as previous with the one time, I have my order information that then has my billing code that defaults from the order that I've selected. So you want to make sure that that information is all accurate. My pattern type defaults to weekly. So that's the pattern that automatically will populate in here. But we can change it. So we can have this type here from the drop down. If we leave it as weekly, we have the ability to change this box to say every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, so on, whichever pattern you are creating. Typically, the regular option would be used for more inconsistent visit pattern types, something that doesn't necessarily fall on multiple days of the week consistently. More often than not, it's used for ongoing nursing schedules. So you'll see here you have the option of every X number of days. When I click on that option, I can choose to be every 2 days, every 3 days, and then that will set the pattern ongoing. So I'll show you creating a weekly pattern. Of course, as long as you keep in mind that type can be customized to what you need it to be for your frequency. Put in my start and stop time, which then determines what the duration is. So you want to make sure that those are what we are authorized each visit to be. Indicate what your priority code is for that set of visits. Any visit comments that need to be added, and click on OK. Yes, I want to save the changes. Now I'm presented with my conflict checking window, and it's going to tell me any issues that are present with those visits. So right now, the only conflicts that are displaying are service plan conflicts. It's still going to book those visits, but it's letting us know that those visits fall outside of the current frequency or service plan. If you click on that individual conflict, it will tell you at the bottom what is triggering that alert. So this one, for example, expires on March 31st, but this visit falls on April 2nd. So because that is outside of the service plan, it's giving us this conflict. So once I address all of those as needed, I click on OK, and I can see my visit's been put in there ongoing on Thursdays. The same time, obviously then the same duration, and that's an ongoing pattern. The third option for adding in visits or entering in a client schedule is multiple. And when we click on that icon, the window looks fairly similar. The client visit window displays. We have our order information, which then again defaults our billing service code. We have the ability to add in the priority code and visit comments as needed. The difference with this window is we don't have our time indicated in here or our durations. We have a multiple visit box. So when we click on that, we have another window that prompts telling us or asking which visits we want to create, which days of the week. So depending on the frequency that you're creating will determine what boxes you select. So what multiple does is it allows you to create more than one regular pattern visit at a time. Once I create them, the maintenance of them ongoing is as if they were regular. So I'll kind of walk through it step by step and just show you what it looks like start to finish. So if I wanted to create a Monday, Wednesday, Friday visit pattern, I can click on Friday because it's the first day that falls as a Friday within the pattern. Then I want to click on Monday and I want to click on Wednesday. So you want to make sure that you choose all of the days of the week that you're looking to have a visit. The next thing that you want to do is indicate the start and stop time. Similar to your regular visit, you can indicate the start and stop time or shift code, but typically anything outside of nursing, we're going to have our start and stop times in there. So I'm going to put in 9 to 9:30. And the other nice thing about the multiple visits is we have a copy option here. So anything that I select, it defaults and says that it's going to copy from whatever's in day 2 to all other check days. I can change these from the drop down, so I can choose to copy what's in day 2 just to day 5 or day 7, and our numbers are here. But when I create these visits, I want them all to be at the same time. So I'm going to click on copy, and whatever is in this box displays in the others as well. So it saves some keystrokes at entering it all individually. The other nice thing about the multiple visit window is we have a create number of visits in a day, and I can increase this to 2 or 3 times. So if I wanted to create those clients who had BID visits, I can come in here and create those visits ongoing in one location rather than individually. But again, for this example, we're just going to go through a Monday, Wednesday, Friday visit pattern. So once I have my information in there, I can click on close. Again, wanting to double check, make sure all of your information here is correct, and we're going to click on OK. Yes, you want to save the changes. Our window here is the same, so we're getting anything that falls outside of the service plan shows as a conflict. Still going to book the visit for us. I'm going to click on OK, and it shows our Monday, Wednesday, Friday visit pattern. Now you'll notice if I double click on any of these visits, it is now created in a regular pattern. So any changes that I make, I have to create or make those changes individually to that pattern. So the multiple is wonderful to create more than one visit at one time, but again, the maintenance of it is in a regular pattern going forward.